All right. So, Rockschool, grade 1, technical stuff. Technical stuff, the stuff that everybody loves and no one practices enough. Yes, so that's why we're here. I want to make sure that you're getting plenty of practice on the technical exercises because I know that people like to focus on the songs a lot more, and we do that as well, obviously. But it's great to spend a bit of time on the technical stuff. Right, so first of all, at the moment, if you were going to do an exam, it would be in a video exam because we're in lockdown 3, lockdown part 3. So that means that it would be a digital exam you'd be doing, recorded on video. So you wouldn't be doing the ear tests or the general. Well, there's a load of stuff you wouldn't be doing, right? So you only really need to focus on the scales, the chords, and the acoustic riff. But we're going to do a little bit on the ear tests and the rhythmic recall today because we haven't really talked much about it. And if you're going to do an exam and lockdown is finished, which would be a miracle, but it'd be a wonderful thing, you might need to understand what these are. So we'll just do them briefly, okay? Plus, they're good anyway. They're good fun to practice. So, ear tests. Number 1 is something they call melodic recall. So recall just means remembering something, doesn't it? Recall. Remember it and just tell us what it is, basically. So melodic recall is recalling, remembering, and telling us what the melody is that you heard, right? So when you did the debut, you may have done the ear test, and the debut was just this. The second note, is it higher or lower than the first note? All right, I'm going to play you 2 notes. Is the first one... Sorry, let's do the second one. Is the second one... Let's stick to what we said. Is the second one lower or higher? Feel free to pop it in the chat. Is the second one higher or lower? Here we go. Is the second one higher or lower? What do you think? Let's get some in the chat there. Tell me what you think. Higher or lower? Second note. Right. Next one is exactly the same thing. Is the second note higher or lower? Second note, higher or lower? Higher. On that first one, that's correct. Definitely higher. That one was definitely higher. And then the other one was this one. What do you think about that one? Okay, a couple of answers there. And if you're answering the first one, you're right. And if you're answering the second one, you're also right because they're both higher. Okay. The only difference with the grade 1 ear tests, the melodic recall, is you get 3 notes and you have to kind of just tell me about the second 2 notes. So for example, if I played this, you'd go higher, because that's higher than the first one, and higher again. So you go higher and higher. Okay? Or you might get something like this where you go and then you'd say that the first one, that one's higher, and then that one's lower. So we want to know basically, are you going up and down, or up and up, or down and down? All right, so higher, lower. Here we go. Ready? 3 notes this time. Are they higher or lower? And again. Have a think about it. So is it higher, 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 lower, 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 or lower, higher. They're the only options. That's all it could be. I'll play it again. Okay, pop it in the chat. Let me see what you think. I'll do another one while I'm waiting. Okay, so this one's going to go like this. And again. Last time. So the first one was, yeah, higher, higher. Was that one the same, that second one? Pop it in the chat again if you think you know the answer. That was the one I did. Okay. Let's see what you think. Some deleted messages there. Have you put in the wrong answer and then thought about it? Right, so while you're doing that, the next bit is Rhythmic Recall. Rhythmic Recall. And basically, you would have to play back a really simple rhythm. Okay? So we're just going to do it on the lowest E string, which is your top string. Let me just read out to you what it says, okay? The examiner will play you a 2-bar rhythm played to a drum backing track on the lowest sounding E string. You will hear the test twice. You will be asked to play the rhythm back. You will then be asked to identify the rhythm from 2 printed examples shown to you. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to hear like a little drum track, you know, whatever, right? Hopefully better than that. You're going to hear a drum track and then the examiner will play something. And the example in the book is like this. You then have to play that back and then look at a piece of paper with 2 different rhythms written on it and say which one you just played, all right? Yeah, the other one was higher and then lower. Well done. Good job. Okay, so well done. Right. So let's do a little bit of this rhythmic recall. This means you have to play as well. So I'm going to play and then you're going to play. Okay? I'm going to keep them quite simple, obviously. It's only grade 1, so it's not going to be too hard. Are you ready? So that was 2 bars. I'll do it one more time because you get to hear it twice. Right, now I can't hear you, but have a go at playing that back. Obviously, you can let me know how it went, and I'll just play it a couple more times in case you're completely unsure. Don't worry about the page we're on. You're just listening, using your ears. They're ear tests, using your ears. What page? Right, so you're going to play back the rhythm that I'm playing, right? Now I can't hear you, so you might just have to comment on whether or not you found that easy or really hard. I'll do it again. So it's basically going. All right. We're actually looking at page 40 though. I will tell you, it's not a secret. It's page 40. Which, as I said, we don't have to do at the moment because we're only doing digital exams, so we don't need to worry about them. But they're still worth thinking about. Okay. Hopefully you did that okay. I will tell you what rhythm I was playing. I was going 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So 3 was a rest, right? 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That's what I played. Okay, it went okay, great. Easy, yeah. It's not too hard. They're not too hard. And I think if you had a drum track going as well, it'd probably be easier as well. All right, technical exercises. So we're going to go on to page 36. I'm not going to go over the C major or the E minor pentatonic or the A minor pentatonic because they're all in the debut grade. So we should all be totally happy with those. A natural minor we're going to do, and then the G major pentatonic. Okay, so the A natural minor, if you know it, just practice it a few times, okay? Because I know some of you know it quite well actually already. So if you know it quite well, just play it. The A natural minor scale, if you remember, starts on the 5th string. Make sure you're looking at your book. Make sure it's open. Make sure you're looking at your book. Page 36, number 2, A natural minor. So what we're doing is we are on the 5th string, playing 0, 2, 3, right? And the same on the 4th string, 0, 2, 3. So it's nice and easy to remember, right? Because we're doing the same thing on 2 strings there. So here we go. We're going to do all 6 of those notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right, 6 notes. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then we add just the other 2 notes, which are the 3rd string open, and then the 2nd fret. Okay, so we end up going like this. 0, 2, 3, 0, 2. And that is all the A natural minor scale is. Of course, we need to come back up it as well. But let's just go the way we're going at the moment. We're just going to ascend it. We're just going up it. We're ascending. All right? So, 70 BPM. That is our target goal. If you can play faster, that's fine. But just for now, play along at 70 BPM, okay? Because that's the exam. So, here we go. See, I read your mind. Asking for a metronome in the chat, see? I'm on it. I know what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just ascending. All right, here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just pause that. How do you do it? Do you mean the A? Sorry, question on the chat again. How do you do it? Do you mean the A minor scale, the A natural minor scale? Just had a look at that one, but I'm happy to go over it again if you're unsure. And again, if you're confident with it, just run through them. Okay, if you know your scales, just run through them all. If I need to go through this one again. All right. So I'm just going to play the A minor scale again to the metronome. The question was, how do you do it? Could you just put in chat, do you want me to go over the whole scale again? All right, ready? The rest of us can just keep playing while we're waiting for that chat. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's ascending. Okay, I'll go over it all again. So what we're going to do, if you know your scales well, can you just go through each one and try and do it at that speed? Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you're aiming for that kind of speed. Make sure if you know your scale, you're going up and down. You're ascending and descending to get all your practice in, okay? All right, let me just go through that A natural minor scale one more time if you're unsure about it. So what we do is we start on the 5th string. Is your book open? First question, is your book open? Make sure it is on page 36, and we're looking at number 2. Right, so if you're looking at your book, you will see the first numbers are 0, 2, 3 on the A natural minor scale, right? 0, 2, 3, and they are on the 5th string. So we're just going to go up to the 5th string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to play 0, 2, and 3. Make sure you're using the first finger and the second finger here, right? So we don't want to move the hand at all. None of that. It's not allowed. Don't do it. Okay, so again, 0, 2, 3. The next string down is exactly the same, which makes it easy to remember, really, okay? So the 4th string, again, count from the bottom, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 2, 3. So here we go. 0, 2, 3. Same fingers, same frets, just move down a string. So let's go. Clicks on so people can still play to that speed if they want to. Right, so what we're going to do is just do those first 6 notes, okay? All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. All right. Can't have that on all the time just while I'm teaching this bit because it's going to get really confusing, okay? Because we'll be working at different speeds. So yeah, so make sure you're happy with those first 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3. And then we're on the next string down, the 3rd string, which is your middle plastic string. And that's just 0, 2. If you've got like a classical style guitar, it's the middle plastic string. If you've got one like mine, and I think yours as well, it's a metal string still, isn't it? All right, so are we happy with that now? 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2. The notes you're playing, by the way, if you know your scales well, you should know your notes as well. What are you actually playing? The A natural minor scale is really easy to remember because we're playing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. All right, it's your alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay? Right, so we're going to try that to the click. I'm going to slow it down a little bit first. It's good practice anyway, playing your scales at different speeds. So if you do know these well, this is still really good practice, okay? So down to 60. All right, here we go. 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when we come back up, we're just going to take the finger off and then go 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0. So again, like I say, quite easy to remember because there's a really clear pattern there which helps us remember them basically. Patterns are always good, aren't they? Okay. A natural minor scale, if I go into lots of detail, it might confuse you and it will take a long time. But basically, there are different kinds of minor scales, okay? It's called a natural minor scale because all of the notes in it are not changed in any way, all right? So, for example, if I did an A harmonic minor scale, I would change the 7th note. So it would kind of go... hear how that's different? All right. So the natural minor scale is just telling us that all the notes are what we expect. They haven't been changed in any way. And that there are other minor scales where we do change some of the notes and it changes the sound. Okay. So I'll just play the natural minor again. And I'll do the harmonic minor. And you might hear a difference there. Okay? Natural minor scale, all the notes are natural, they're not changed in any way. That's why. The question was, why is it called a natural minor? That was the question. Why is it a natural minor? Okay. Let's go on to the power chords. Let's move off. I was going to do the G major pentatonic as well, but we're going to run out of time. So let's do the power chords again. I know these were a little bit tricky last week. So, power chords, page 37. I'm going to keep saying this. Look in your books. Do look in your books, right? Power chords. Group B chords, number 1, power chords. 2-note chords to be played in a continuous sequence. The tempo is 70 BPM. So that was these we did last week as well. Remember the rest in the middle? Actually make the rest happen, right? Don't just rely on it being lucky, right? Actually count 1, 2, 3, 4 and actually put that rest in. Okay? Yes, you do have to play that in a different grade, yeah. Yeah, the other minor scales come in at later grades, not at this grade obviously, but yes, you do. Okay, so let's do the group B power chords. And how do we do a B5 again? Oh, come on. Like that. You have to play it like that as well. No, like that. So we're on the 5th string, 2nd fret. And then the easy one to remember, 4th string, 4th fret. Okay? Like that there. So this one, remember, is jumped over. We don't use that 3rd fret. Okay? And the A, that one comes down and that one's off. Then the D5, down again. A5 back up, B5 back up, and then add that one back on the 4th and the 4th. Okay? I missed it. Right. All right, are we ready? Here we go. So B5, A5, D5, A5, B5. Going to do it to the click. 70 BPM is what we need. Remember to make 2 and 4 your rests. Okay? Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, rest. And again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, rest. Rest. Rest, rest, rest. One more time, and then if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 ways to make the rest happen really nicely and cleanly. One we talked about the other week where we were using the palm here, the kind of heel of our palm on the strings. So you play. Try and get my hand up here so you play. I'm going to exaggerate, okay? This amount of movement is too much, but play, back on. Play, back on. All right? That's one way to mute the strings. The other way is with this hand where you just relax your fingers when you're playing the B5. Because if I relax my fingers, obviously the strings come back up, yeah? ideally what we do is both of those ideas together. All right, so have a practice of doing that, particularly with your picking hand. So focus on that one first, because that's probably the most important one. All right, so here we go, 70 BPM, getting clean rests in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, these are tricky. Yeah, you do need to practice. Yes, very good point. Practice, as they say, makes perfect, and if it doesn't, it at least makes you better. All right, you do need to practice those. They're a little bit tricky at first, particularly the B5. Right, so got a few minutes left. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move on to the major and minor chords. I'm going to call a chord out. You're going to play it. I can't hear you, obviously, but what you want to think about is just a couple of things. One is just making sure your fingers are in the right place and you're playing the right number of strings. Okay, that's obvious. The next thing is just making sure that you've got a nice clean sound and you haven't got any of this kind of stuff going on, right? So a D chord should sound like that, not like this. Okay, that's horrible, isn't it? So I'm going to shout out a chord. I'm going to give you a count of 4. You have to play that chord. All right. What I'd like you to do is when we finish, just type into the chat any of the chords that you found tricky. All right. Obviously, you might have different answers. You're going to find different ones easy and different ones hard. So are you ready? Here we go. I'm not going to play, by the way. It's just all on you now. So we're going to do the major and minor chords. I'm going to mix them up. And I would like a C chord, please. A C chord. That is a big C chord with 3 fingers. Something like that. I don't want to show you it. 3-finger C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And should sound like that. Okay. Next chord, an E. 1, 2, 3, 4, and should sound like that. It's your E chord. Next one, a G chord. This is a big G chord. This is all 6 strings. You need 3 fingers on this one, okay? A G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lovely chord, G chord. Right, next one is going to be a D minor. Careful, a D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's your D minor. All right, as I said, just at the end, any that you couldn't get in those 4 seconds, that you couldn't get right in that count of 4, just put them in the chat, okay? And we'll, do a bit more of a focus on those next time. And A chord, please. An A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 strings. Might do it like that. There's different ways to do it. I use these fingers and don't use my first one because my fingers are quite big, so it's hard to fit them in the fret. You probably played them all like that. Okay, next one is going to be A minor. A minor, please. A minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 strings again. A minor. Next one is going to be a D chord. A D chord, please. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Time's up. Right, and an E minor chord, please. I'll play it for you. That one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and play. Hopefully you got it. Really nice. Love that chord. Great sound on it. And we are going to finish there. Okay. If you don't know those chords yet very well, now some of them, in fact, I will tell you exactly which ones are in the debut, but actually most of them are. So in the debut grade, which I know you've done, the chords were an A, a D, a C, a G, an A minor, and an E minor. Okay, A, D, C, G, A minor, and E minor. So the only ones that's been added really is an E, because that's not in here. All right, and a D minor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's only 2 chords added from the debut grade. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So some of you are going to know them quite well, and some of you don't so well. But as I said, 6 of those 8 chords are in your debut grade, and you passed your debut grade really well, right? So you do actually know them. Just be a bit more confident with it. A couple of them are slightly different. So, for example, the G chord uses all strings at grade 1, like that, rather than debut, which is like that. Okay, so some of them are a bit more complicated, but actually you do know most of them. So yeah, just be a bit more confident. And yeah, bit of practice, please. Bit of practice always goes a long way. Right, that's it. I'm going to head off and stop. But if there's anything you want to just ask, that's fine. But basically, we're gonna finish here, okay? But feel free to ask anything if you want about that lesson. I'll hang around for a second just in case anything comes up in the chat that's needs answering about the lesson, okay? But yeah, that was good. That was good overall, I think. If you played most of what we did there, you're doing a good job. The point is, of course, with this lesson, is to give you stuff to practice. All right? If you knew it all and you did it perfectly, then you wouldn't have to worry about practicing, would you? Right? So the idea is to go over the stuff so you're then confident or more confident to go away and practice, or just to highlight what does need practicing. So if you know that some of those chords weren't great, that's what you should be practicing this week, obviously, right? Okay. I will see you all next week. I hope you have a really nice weekend as well, and get some time to kind of relax and chill out away from the schoolwork. What could you do if you were bored? What could you do if you were bored at any time during this week? Practice the guitar. Yeah, that would be it. All right, take care. Bye-bye.